Hey everybody, John Felt here. This is the Blue Water Outlook Weekly Weather Briefing for April 25th, 2026. Well, it looks like we're going to have a multi-day severe storm threat, and then we're going to have a pattern shift. I'll be talking about that in today's Blue Water Outlook Weather Briefing. So these are some of the threats this week. First off, look at this severe storm, level 4 out of 5 today. Tomorrow, pretty widespread, and then even more widespread on Monday. So 3 days, maybe even 4 of severe storm activity. We also have fire danger, continuing fire danger in parts of the southwest. And finally, I'll be talking quite a bit about a pattern shift to much colder weather or cooler weather ahead. Now last week we had lots of severe weather, tornadoes, severe storms, and especially lots of large hail. Look at all the tornadoes here. This is the Enid, Oklahoma tornado. So tornadoes across right through the central core part of the tornado alley. And these were rotating thunderstorms, or what we call supercells, classic severe weather. Look at this notch here. This is that hook echo. Another one right here. And those are these classic planes, usually isolated thunderstorms that are rotating and producing tornadoes. Now here's the rain last week. Texas got several inches of rain. In central Texas, up to 4 inches, maybe even a little bit more right in the middle part of the state. Now we're also dealing with an ongoing drought, and I need to put some information on a drought update real soon. But the southeast U.S., especially, look at that right along the Florida-Georgia border. That's an exceptional drought, the highest category. And look at all the wildfires that are occurring in that area. There was several that destroyed a number of homes. Some snow in the Rockies and parts of the north central U.S., even a little streak of snow right here. And that's indicating one of the indicators of the contrast between that cooler air in the northwest and the southeast, the really warm weather. Now here are our temperature departures last week. Areas in orange, brown, red above normal, areas in green below normal. And we have that cool air. Take a look at this here. These are near record lows this morning, and made it down. These areas in purple made it below 20 degrees. So there's a source of this colder air, and that is going to sag to the south. But we had quite a bit of warm air over the plains, and that served as the fuel for that severe weather. Temperatures in the 80s and even nearing 90. Another sign of the severe storms, it shows the gradient between the moisture in the 60s, dew points in the 60s, 50s and 60s, and just to the north in the 30s. Look at Missouri here. Cape Girardeau 59 near 60, and the northwest part of the state around St. Joe, a little bit up to the north, only in the 40s. Now rivers are running high in spots. We have a flood wave coming down the upper Mississippi down towards St. Louis, then it attenuates. But a lot of low flows as well, especially over the eastern U.S. Look at all those bright reds. Those are very low flows, and we need more rain in that area, in those areas. Now last week I told you about the pattern shift into a Greenland high. That results in a dip in the jet stream here, and we're going to see that transition this weekend into early in the week. Now you can see the start of it right now. This is sort of the grand finale with the energy associated with this transition fueling the severe weather this weekend into early in the week. By Wednesday, we have that jet stream begins to sag to the south, and that's going to shift our pattern as we get not just the rest of April, but into May. And you can see, look at the blue. As we next couple days, we're going to hit near 100 degrees in South Texas, but that blue just really overspreads the area. And the west, we sort of warm up in the west, but we end up with this pattern here where we have the jet stream sagging to the south and bringing that cooler air in. Now, take a look at this. Early May, we could have temperature departures right over Missouri, and much of the middle part of the nation into the northeast, 10 to 20 degrees colder than normal. So that's the trend for temperatures, much cooler air on the way. Now, what about rainfall? Well, here we go. You can see the main axis for rain will be over the south central U.S., where we could have 1 to 3 inches of rain. Okay, looking out a little bit further here, I think the main trend I want to show you here is that the cooler pattern over parts of the central into the Great Lakes into the northeast continues right. This is weeks 3 and 4, so it's going to be persistent in this area. Right in here, it's going to be pretty persistent, the below normal temperatures. So anyway, keep in mind that over the weekend into early in the week, we have that risk of severe weather here. The next 3 days, maybe even going into 4 days, so be very careful if you're in those areas, because it does look like a fairly widespread severe storm outlook. Have a great week. Take care.